We are finally here. Hotel RIU Republica, located in the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana. I cannot wait to share this with you, so let's just get started. I'm going to answer the main question, which is if you should book this resort. It's controversial. There are reviews from absolutely hating this place to absolutely loving and adoring it and recommending it to everybody. Is this resort for you? Will you enjoy this resort if you book your stay? Will you have fun? I'm going to give you everything you need to be well equipped to make a decision on whether or not you should book this resort. So let's just jump into it. First, I'm going to break down this video into a few main categories. Number one, we're going to do a brief overview of this resort. I'm going to discuss it very quickly. Once we get over with that, we're going to jump into the second part, which is the layout and the rooms. After that, we're going to go straight into the service and the foods and the drinks. That's a big one. Once we're done with that, we're going to go to the beach and the pools. From the beach and the pools, we're going to go into the parties and the nightlife. And then at the end, we're going to wrap everything up. And I'm going to answer the question directly to give you exactly the answer you need to know if you should book this resort. And more importantly, what type of person you need to be to go to this resort. So let's jump into it. Hotel RIU Republica is located next to the Hard Rock. Now, that's important to know because it's a different beach in the main strip of Bavaro. It can get a little bit confusing when you're looking to book a RIU in Punta Cana because there are a few options to choose from. The main one, which we're talking about today, is RIU Republica. After that, we have three palaces. We have Palace Bavaro, Palace Punta Cana, and Palace Macau. Then there's one more, which is the RIU Bamboo. Now, I'm only talking about the RIU Republica. I cannot touch on the other ones. I'll say right off the bat, if you're looking for the main Punta Cana Bavaro experience, this resort is not for you. This is an off the beat type of path resort. Let's tell you why. First, the layout and the rooms. When we first showed up to the resort, I thought it would be a little bit nicer, to be honest with you. It wasn't that feeling of Punta Cana, Dominican Republic that I normally get with resorts. Initially, I thought I wasn't going to be met with a welcome drink, but thankfully I was. And it was right there and then where I got the experience of what it would be like to be staying at this resort. For this trip, it was a budget trip for me, so I just booked the basic room that they had. And honestly, at first, I was a little disappointed. I was afraid we were going to be put in the back of the resort, which I was told from some friends that that's sort of the calmer, slower paced area, and it's not really that close to the beach. And after some negotiating, we were able to get the best room that we could find given our desired location. What does that mean? Well, the resort is broken up into two main areas. The back side is calmer. It's not really where the parties are, and it's way further from the beach. The other part is closer up by the pools and a lot more lively. You never really have to go to the back of the resort for anything because the front half has everything that you need. It has pools, a buffet, the restaurants, the beach, and the parties. Whereas the back also has a buffet, also has pools, has the water park, but isn't necessarily an ideal experience. We got into the rooms, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it's a room. And not just a room, it's a disappointing one at best. I'm not a picky person by any means of the imagination, and normally I'm perfectly fine with exactly what you see here, but throughout the course of the stay, things started to turn for the worst. Quality of the bed was okay, but it wasn't until days later that I started noticing some potential bug bites across my body. Now, I will say I was the only one that experienced this in my particular bed out of the 5 of us, but after looking at some reviews on Facebook, I noticed that other people were having the same issue. But it doesn't stop there because a few days into the stay, I noticed that there was a slight crack in our toilet, which then led me to look around and notice a few cockroaches. Yep, that's right, I noticed some roaches. Now, this is the first controversial thing about this resort. What I've came to realize about the rooms is that it's sort of the luck of the draw. Now, what I mean by that touches on what I mentioned earlier, which is about the disorganized, dysfunctional quality of this resort. But there is a chance that it's not a universal issue across the whole resort. My friends, for example, all they had was a door that was broken in their closet, and that was it. The AC worked. My other buddy had another room. It was a large suite, but the AC was not working. So they switched into a new room, and the AC worked perfectly fine. It was clean, it was crisp, it was big, it had tons of space. I highly, highly, highly recommend that if you are deciding to stay at this resort because of the other reasons, book a suite. The suites are much cleaner, much nicer, and overall you get a better experience for only a couple of dollars more. But we have to remind ourselves that the price that you're paying for this place, given the other aspects which we're about to get into, may make your concern slightly less worrisome. That does not mean you have to deal with the cockroaches, but the service and the food. The service is very down to earth. These are real, genuine people just trying to do their job, do it right, and be nice along the way. It's not the service that you'd expect at a 5-star fancy restaurant or a premium level resort, but it does get the job done. They are very friendly people. Everyone is out to care for you. They might not wash your feet and lick your toes, but they definitely will make sure you get your food and be happy doing it. The food at this resort is pretty simple. We have a few main restaurants, the buffets, and the snacks. Now, for me and my buddies, we mainly stood at the buffet. The buffets are perfectly fine. There's quality options to choose from across the board. There are actually 2 buffets, as I mentioned, one all the way in the back, and then the main one in the front. And this was the primary place that me and my friends stayed at because it was easiest, it was quickest, it was the most consistent. Outside of that, we went to the steakhouse, which actually was pretty well, especially for the price that we paid for this place, and the Chinese restaurant, which was an absolute disaster. Now, there's a couple other ones, but after talking to a few other people that went there, they all universally agree that it's all the same exact types of food, just done slightly differently at best. And you might as well just stay at the buffet or the steakhouse if you're planning to come to this place. During the day, you do have a great chicken spot that you can grab for lunch. Phenomenal quality in comparison to the rest of the resort. And then your late night snacks would be the sports bar, which is just simple hot dogs and nachos. I would not recommend that by any means of the imagination. So how is the food at this place? Well, it's RIU food. It is lower quality, not consistently good. So do not come to this resort expecting a great food experience by any means. However, I will say, depending on your taste will depend on your food experience. For me, for example, I'm not much of a picky eater. I eat consistently the same things, just simple chickens and meats and rices. But if you're trying to eat the fishes and the desserts like my buddies were, you might lay yourself to have some trouble. So the service is pretty good. I cannot complain. The food is absolutely okay. And the drinks, how are the drinks? Consistently inconsistent. The drinks are okay as well. There's nothing to really rave home about. Let's put it this way. The best drink I had was a Coca Loco, which is like a coconut cream drink. And I usually add a shot of espresso in there and a pina colada. Aside from that, top shelf or medium shelf at least, I would not get your hopes up. Weak liquor, weak drinks, low quality alcohol, just not the best drinking experience other than your main tropical drinks. Now at this point, I've been pretty doom and gloom for most of the areas for this resort for a good reason, but that does not deter you. So please wait until these next sections because those are the main reasons why I would recommend coming to this place. Okay, now that we got the crazy things out of the way, let's get on to the more uplifting stuff like the beach and the pool. Okay, pretty good. I'm not gonna complain. This is not your Brevard typical beach. When I went, the water was a little bit rougher. There wasn't much seaweed when I went, but it was a good Punta Cana experience. This was my first time staying off of the Brevard Strip, aside from the Serenade, which you can watch in the link down below. Good comparison if you are interested in watching that video. The sand quality was good. The Caribbean experience was actually really nice. It left a good atmosphere to feel like I was truly in the Caribbean in Punta Cana. I highly recommend this beach because it encapsulates such a well-rounded experience of what a Dominican Republic beach should be all about. As far as service goes on the beach, for your phone, it was okay. I had some reception issues. And for the actual drinks, or any type of food that you can get on the beach, less than a minute walk from where you walk into the beach, there is the chicken shack, and another minute from there is the bar. The pools, man, the pools. RIU Republica is known for their pools. This was one of the shining moments of this resort, and actually, in some ways, the apex of this resort, because there's this main pool right by the beach where all of the action is. And when I mean all the action, I mean all of the action. Trust me, this is the place to be. You have the main area, and that's really where you're gonna decide if you really wanna be in the environment or if you just wanna listen to it from the outside. And then you have the back pool areas, which definitely is a more calming experience. If you're coming to RIU for whatever reason, maybe it's a budget-friendly option for you and you're deciding, hey, like I actually think this is a good place to stay, a good consideration is to make sure you're staying in the back of the resort to avoid all that fun, ambitious, loud, rowdy energy. And then if you want the option, you could walk up to the front and go there for a day or two. The pools do have a ton of shade as well, and the bars are pretty good. It's your typical all-inclusive pool bar. Speaking of bars, let's get into the next part, which is the parties and the nightlife. Now, finally, you got to the part you've been waiting for, the parties and the nightlife. Why you are coming to RIU Republica. You're coming to RIU Republica to party. So how are they? And how's the nightlife? How's the daytime? If the daytime is filled with that excitement at the pool, what does the nightlife show? Well, as I mentioned, there are a couple of pool bars to choose from, but there's also a lobby bar, which has a great selection, friendly staff, tons of seating. There's a sports bar, and then there is the club bar. There are some other ones sporadically around the resort, but these are the main hubs of where you want to be. The parties are pretty simple. I'm gonna lay it out for you right now. First, at RIU Republica, they will have specific themed nights, such as a neon party. Now, these are not your quote unquote RIU parties. Those are stayed outside of the resort, which I will show you exactly where on the screen right now. In order to get to the RIU parties, we have to first know what the schedule is. We have a white night, the pink party, the neon party, and the jungle party. But I will say the parties at RIU Republica themselves, such as the neon party, and oh my God, that beach party, were actually pretty insane as well. So how do you get to this resort? Well, during the day parties, they have a shuttle that takes you. There's a line that lines up. You just get in that line at the time of the party and they will take you to the party. And they also have a shuttle that takes you on the way back. However, for the nighttime, they no longer provide a shuttle to you. You're gonna have to get a cab or a taxi. Or, you know, if you decide to go to the casino right next to the party, and then after the casino, you wanna walk right over to the party, maybe that's something that you could consider doing. But you cannot take the casino shuttle to the party unless you're going to the casino and then maybe going to the party after. It sucks, I know, and there is some fear factor involved, but as I mentioned, they do hold some parties at the resort at night, one of them being the beach party. Now, the beach party, surprisingly, was the best party I had at RIU Republica. After the RIU parties, what do you want to do at the resort? Well, there is the Pasha Nightlife Club. Now, Pasha is okay as well. What do I mean by that? Well, the music is actually pretty good. And if you love Spanish music, this music is for you. It is pumping, it is loud, but it does highly depend on the crowd that's there. But all in all, I want to just say that this nightlife experience at RIU Republica was actually really good. After the club, right outside is the sports bar where you can get like a quick snack or you can get a drink. It's sort of like the hub of hangout spots where you go if you want to step outside, get some air, or just go back in. Now, I know what you might be thinking. James, this resort sounds really bipolar.
And it is.
Let's give it a value score now, and I'm going to tell you my overall opinion on whether or not you should stay at this resort. First, I want to score the rooms and the layout. The layout of this resort is pretty finicky. It's very weird because what I'm about to tell you, it's sort of like if you're not this sort of person, why would you come here? And the back sort of caters to those people and the front doesn't. So it's sort of a catch-all be-all. The rooms are actually pretty piss poor, and I don't say that lightly. There were AC issues, broken toilet, bugs of all kinds, fridge issues, room key issues. I really would not advertise staying at this resort if you're looking for a good room experience. But if you do buy the premium room option, there is a little bit of a better chance that you would get something better. It's just that I don't know if that risk is necessarily worth it. And out of 100, I'm gonna give the rooms and the layout a 28. For me, bugs in a room is a no-go. Mold in a room is a no-go. And there's been too many complaints of mold and bug issues. If those didn't exist, maybe I would be okay with the fridge issues, the card issues, and the AC issues. But personally, I want to be able to sleep comfortable at night. Next up, the service and the food. What would I rate them? Out of 100, oh boy, I'm going to go with 38 to 42. Now, this is a little bit of a range, so we'll just go with the average of 40. As I mentioned, the service is good. They're great, but the food just knocks us down. I eat the same foods every single day, and for an all-inclusive trip, I don't really want that experience. I want to be able to try different cuisines and try different restaurants with comfortability, knowing that I'm gonna have a good meal. And with this resort, I just did not get that. Next up, the beach and the pools. The beach and the pools are actually pretty good. Aside from the just immense amount of people in the pools that left us some hygiene issues, all in all, you could find a clean spot to just hang out, relax. I'm actually gonna give this a good 70. I say good because it's a value score. And then lastly, the nightlife. I'll be honest with you guys, the parties and the nightlife you will not find anywhere else. And so I'm gonna have to give this a resounding 95. Why so high? RIU Republica is for one particular type of person. You want to party at a cheap price. I'm gonna put the price I paid up on the screen now. And when I tell you, that price alone makes me question whether or not I should go back to this resort. If it wasn't for the roulette of the room situation, if it wasn't for the bugs, oh, and that I got my headphones stolen at the pool, oh, and me and my friends came back with COVID and the flu, I would say that RIU Republica is for the ambitious, strong immune system, ready to go, ready to party, ready to have fun, and do so at a cheap, affordable price. Worst case scenario, you tell the staff that you wanted a room, or you pay for the premium room, which still is a pretty affordable option, and you can have an insanely fun time at this resort. But I will say, I won't be back. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Please comment down below any questions you have. I answer every single comment, and I hope to see you in the next one.